welcome back to Clash of Cultures. We continue our 2023 college football preview. Our next stop is Raleigh, North Carolina, as we preview the North Carolina State Wolfpack. Before we get to football, like always, though, we want to thank you guys for all the love and support we've gotten. We are on the journey to 1,000 subscribers. So if you made it this far, please press the like and subscribe button, and then leave a comment below. We appreciate the comments, the feedback, and if you notice, we've taken a lot of feedback directly into how we make videos to hopefully make them better. So with that being said, Steven, what's your thoughts on? Oh, I'm sorry. Also, first, the comment of the day, comment of the video, comes from our Pac-12 quarterback preview video. It's from Alan Williams 7210. And the comment was, I agree with you guys on the top 5. Fight on Trojans. So, yeah. Alan agrees with us. I don't know the fight on Trojans. I don't agree with that part, but the fact that Alan agrees with our comment, I appreciate that, Alan. Thank you. I hope your name is Alan. I hope it's not like Williams Allen. But
before we get into the video, it's actually funny. A lot of these guys or a lot of these people made these YouTubes so long ago, and when they comment, like I'll address them to their name. They'll be like, yo, that's not my name. Like, my name is something else. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going off of, like, your username. So it's kind of tough. So hopefully his name is Alan. He's a loyal viewer. He's in here almost every week or almost every day. I'm sorry. Comment on our video. So thank you so much, Alan. Those of you guys want to be a part of the comment of the day, anything you guys want to tell us, any video ideas, make sure you guys turn the notification bell on. So you guys are one of the first ones to comment so we can get you on the comment of the day. But nonetheless, let's get into the NC State Wolfpack. As you guys can see, they ended up being, what, 9-4 last year? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 9 or 8-4? Am I blind?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8-5.
Okay, 8-5 with losses to Clemson, Syracuse, Boston College, Louisville, and Maryland. Louisville. Damn, I keep messing that up.
It's Louisville.
Louisville and Maryland in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, which is a good game if you guys watched that last year. But they're coming into the ESPN Football Power Index ranked number 36, which is respectable. Projected win-loss. Between 7-5 and 8-4, with only a 3% chance to win the ACC. Those of you guys who watched our video yesterday, when we did the Pittsburgh Panthers, they have an 8% chance to win the ACC. So I feel like the discrepancy there is kind of odd. But I think this team is going to be a decent team, just like I said with Pitt yesterday. I think the ACC has a lot of average teams, and then obviously you have the two-headed monster up top with Clemson and Florida State. There's going to be a lot of good competitive football. I don't think the ACC is one of the strongest of the Power 5 conferences, but I don't think it's going to be the lowest this year either. I think there's going to be some good football being played in the ACC. But what are your thoughts on them? And as I go into the roster makeup, you can kind of give us your thoughts on who they have and stuff like that.
Yeah. So obviously we start with Devin Leary, and we know he transferred out. Bringing in Brennan Armstrong. And if you remember, 2 years ago, Brennan Armstrong was a heck of a quarterback at Virginia. So he had gone for 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Looked like he was going to be the real deal. Last year, Virginia had a very much down year. Only 2,000 yards passing, 2,200 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. So a down year of Virginia last year. If he can get back to the guy he was 2 years ago, NC State can be one of those, and I'm going to call them a middle-of-the-road ACC team. We talk about how the ACC, very similar to the Big 12, has a bunch of good teams, a bunch of teams that on any Saturday could beat a good team. And I think a lot of them are going to beat up on each other. And I think NC State is really going to kind of be part of that pack. They're going to be part of the pack of teams that really just with the other ACC teams really beat up on each other. They can beat anybody on any given Saturday, to include, I wouldn't be shocked if Clemson or Florida State dropped a game to another one of the mediocre, I'll call them ACC teams. I mean, this is one of those teams. This is one of those teams that could be really good, could have a really good record, or it could be really, really bad. Anytime you're talking about changing quarterbacks, to me, that's kind of concerning. And they have lost some good players, and I know we'll talk about those. But yeah, there's some concerns here. And you have them listed. Yeah, there's some concerns here, but there's some reason for optimism. And like I said, especially if Brennan Armstrong can return to form like he played at Virginia 2 years ago. What's your thoughts?
So NC State, I feel like it's eerie similar to the Pitt situation. Eerie
Yeah,
similar. You lose Leary, you lose Slovis, you lose two receivers, you lost receivers on that end. The only big difference between NC State and our Pitt preview is the running back
yeah.
position.
The running
So
back is key.
obviously Pitt's running back, I forget how to say his name already, but he had 20 touchdowns last year, a monster, probably the best running back in the ACC statistical wise.
Yeah.
So you lose him. And this year you bring back Jordan Houston for the NC State Wolfpack, but you lose Demi Sumo, who had more touchdowns than Jordan Houston last year. Houston actually didn't score the ball at all. Jordan
At
Houston didn't
all.
score at all, but he was a leading rusher yardage wise. You bring over Dakari Collins from Clemson at wide receiver. Obviously, I'm a Clemson fan, so you don't know who that is, but he's a good wide receiver. He just couldn't get in the mix of things with Clemson. Obviously, we have a little bit better wide receiver group than NC State does, so I anticipate him having some
Was he
good.
a high recruit?
I believe so. If I'm not mistaken, I believe so. And I think he just never really got his feet under him. At Clemson,
Okay.
that's why he never kind of got the burn he wanted. But I think he's going to be a hell of a receiver for NC State. I don't know if he replaces what Thayer Thomas did or Devin Carter, but I think he can be a good receiver or how can I put this? Good receiver on this offense.
Yeah.
You bring over Noah Potter from Cincinnati. We obviously already talked about Brandon Armstrong. You bring back Aiden White, who's a solid corner for NC State. So I think this team is going to be good. The recruiting class scares me a little bit. Obviously, you only bring in 4 4-stars and 3 3-stars. So I don't know what the future looks like for this team. So I think this season is going to be big for the future for NC State and what they can do in the next couple of years and what looks to be an ACC that is starting to ramp up top heavy. When you look at Clemson, you look at Florida State, you look at North Carolina and Drake May, you look at Miami recruiting now. So I think the teams up top in the ACC are getting a lot better. So I just hope NC State isn't one of those programs that fall behind. And based on the recruiting each other in right now, they're 6 of 14 in the ACC. But when you look at talent for talent, they have to start picking it up recruiting wise because only getting 4 4-stars and 3 3-stars is not okay. So we'll just have to see. But to kind of get into their schedule, I'll go ahead and go first. I have their floor at 5 and 7, ceiling at 9 and 3. Same thing for you. But I just have them beating Duke, and you have them dropping to Duke. That's the only.
Man, you are not feeling Duke, huh?
So it's not that I'm not feeling Duke. It's more so I think they're swing games. I think when I made my prediction for them, I looked at these 5 games that I have them losing to, and I don't see them beating Notre Dame, Clemson, or North Carolina. And so that's why I had the ceiling at 9 and 3. But I think Louisville and Miami are just going to have too much talent for NC State. But again, I don't think 7 and 5 is bad when you lose so much. And again, I have the ceiling at 9 and 3. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did beat Louisville or Miami. I just don't see them beating Notre Dame, Clemson, or North Carolina. Those are the 3 games where I feel like they're losses. Now, don't get me wrong. There are home games, but I think those teams are just better than them. I think, head to head, I just think the teams are better than them.
Yeah, and like I said, I think we've talked about this a couple times. There's a couple teams that their entire season is going to hinge on a quarterback. I think Brennan Armstrong being good helps NC State reach their ceiling. If he plays similar to how he played last year, I suspect they're going to be much closer to where we have their floor. I think a big portion of the success of this season rides on how that quarterback position plays out this year. When you lose Leary, who is a very good quarterback, when you lose a quarterback like Leary, it's a matter of how can you replace him? Because, like you mentioned, when we look down the list of some of these other teams, player for player, position for position, they just have better guys, better players. So can they make up the difference with that quarterback position?
Yep. So that is our NC State preview, y'all. Thank you guys so much for sticking around this long. Before we leave, you got the trivia of the day. I wasn't going to miss out on it. I'm ready to answer this trivia. Come on, let's go.
All right. So this trivia is going to be a little bit different. We're going to go back. We're going to use last year. Okay. Major statistics. I'm going to ask you the statistical leader. So who led NCAA football in passing yards last year?
Penix.
No, he was second.
Is it from Power 5 school?
It's probably not. If you didn't know the answer, you probably wouldn't know this one.
Is it a Power 5 school?
It is not.
Is whoever the quarterback for Western Kentucky?
It is. It is.
I don't know his name. I don't know his
Austin
name.
Reed. That's pretty good. I'm
okay.
gonna give you that.
Okay.
All right. Who led the nation in rushing last year?
Is it Bijan Robinson?
No, he's not even top 5.
It's not the guy from Pitt, right?
No.
Is he top 5?
He's not top 5.
Who led the nation in rushing last year? Have we done Go ahead.
I'll give you this one. It was Brad Roberts from Air Force.
Oh, yeah, I was going to get that. How many yards did he have?
He had 1,728 yards.
Who was the top 3?
Then Dwayne McBride from UAB, and then the running back from Minnesota, Muhammad
Abraham. Yeah, okay.
All right. Who led the nation in receiving last year?
Is it Hyatt?
No, Hyatt was 5th.
Receiving. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get this one, to be completely honest with you. Is it a Power 5 school?
Well, they are now. They were not last year.
Oh, so that means it has to be BYU, Houston, UCF, or Cincinnati.
It is one of them.
Oh, I can't name you a receiver from those schools. That's the problem.
Tank Dale. All right.
Oh, no. He went to Houston. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. He went to Houston, right?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lie. He is nasty. I saw you got to watch his highlight. Tank Dell, he's with the Texans now. That boy's nice. Boy's nice. I knew that. I didn't know. I knew of him, but I didn't know he led the country.
Yeah, he led the country. All right, last one. Who led the nation in sacks last year? He went to a Power 5 school. Big school.
Who led the nation in sacks? Is it Will Anderson?
No.
He got drafted, I'm assuming.
I would assume so, but let me look.
What conference?
Yes.
What
he
conference?
Got drafted. He's in the Pac-12.
I don't know. Who is it?
He went to the Chargers. He's on the Chargers.
I don't know who it is.
And I'm gonna tell you, he Tuluputu for USC.
You know what's crazy?
What?
If you remember, way back when we did our award show, he was my defensive end that was going to win the. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. He was my dark horse to win Defensive Player of the Year, I believe it was. But that was the video, y'all. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna do something different before we leave. So again, make sure you guys turn the notifications on. Comment down below as soon as the video drops, so that way you can be featured on the comment of the day. But for our next video, we are going to use the trivia that you guys give us in the comment section.
Oh, I like that.
So drop a trivia question for us. I'm going to start pulling trivia questions from the comment section. So make sure you guys drop trivia questions. If we don't get any,
don't be looking up the answers before you get on the thing.
Me and my dad will go in and make trivia, but drop trivia questions down below so we can ask each other. But we will see you guys again tomorrow. Peace out.